Today we are going to discuss the Lutz coat of arms, but before we get started, we wanted to let you know that we offer genealogy research service at our website. Please visit us at coadb.com. First, Lutz coat of arms shown here is annotated as being from Munich. This is the coat of arms of Johann von Lutz, born 1826. He was a Bavarian politician, a key figure in the overthrow of King Ludwig II, and he commissioned a brain specialist to issue an opinion of the king's mental state. He was ennobled in 1880, and he was elevated to the status of a baron in 1884. Next one from Switzerland, annotated as being from Basel, Switzerland, and also in Zurich, Joshua Lutz of Zurich, Switzerland in the year 1588. One from Bavaria for Hans Lutz in the year 1530. One for the Lutz von Stachlenberg. We have Georg Felix Lutz, who was knighted in Bohemia in 1733, and also Peter von Lutz, who died in 1809, a field marshal lieutenant and a member of the military order of Marie Therese. Another from Basel, Switzerland. Not 100% sure on this, but I do believe this to be the coat of arms of Ludwig Lutz, born 1577. He was a Swiss Protestant theologian who enrolled at the University of Basel in 1590 and became professor there in 1601. Another from Bern, Switzerland, originally from Rheineck, and the year as 1559. Of this family was Emanuel Lutz, professor at the Greek Academy in Bern in the year 1659. He was also a pastor at Kirchdorf. He had son Karl Lutz, a colonel. And there was also Samuel Lutz, who died in 1750, a pastor at several different locations. Another from Austria. I'm not sure on this one, but I believe it could be the arms of one Volker Lutz from the year 1596. This is the arms of Henry de Lutz. He was the provost of St. Mard. He had a daughter named Claude de Lutz, who I believe married into an important family. And he had a grandson named Henry Lutz II, who died in 1548, who was provost or prevost of Luxembourg. Another for the Lutz von Klaff family. Now, there's two grants. I believe the arms were slightly different. I'm not sure which one we show here, but one was granted to Ludwig Lutz on May 14th, 1509, and also granted in Prague on March 23rd, 1592 to Wolfgang Lutz, Doctor of Jurisprudence, and to his nephew, Cyrich Lutz, a medical doctor and professor at Ingolstadt, as well as to Stephen Lutz and Melchior Lutz. Coat of arms granted in 1569 to Conrad Lutz von Regensburg and to his four brothers, Georg Lutz, Hans Lutz, Benedict Lutz, and Peter Lutz. One granted on August 16th, 1613 to Marcus Lutz, Hans Lutz, and Michael Lutz. Coat of arms granted in Vienna on November 20, 1684 to Valerius Michael Lutz, Imperial Court Secretary and War Secretary, given the predicate von Lusenthal. Here we see an augmented version of the coat of arms. One granted on May 18, 1791 to Emmerich Joseph Lutz, who was from the Netherlands. Coat of arms of family of Wendell Lutz von Egen. He was town clerk of the city of Biberach, secretary to the Margrave Ernest von Baden, and it looks like he was given privilege in 1561, had son Wilhelm Friedrich Lutz, born 1551, who was a Lutheran theologian and early critic of the witch trials. The coat of arms corresponds to that of Conrad Lutz, who died in 1483, which was also used by his grandson, Conrad Lutz of Heilbronn. The arms of Captain Hans Lutz von Fusen. He was granted a coat of arms by Karl V on April 20th, 1530. And looks like 14 years later, his brothers were granted a coat of arms, Michael Lutz, Ambrose Lutz, and Caspar Lutz. The arms of Johann Christoph Lutz, Philip Lutz, and Caspar Lutz, brothers, and to their fathers, Hans Basten Lutz, Christoph Lutz, and Caspar Lutz, ennobled on June 19, 1594. This is an arms for Johann Peter Lutz, counselor in 1660. It says here he was a Hatzfeldischer. Wasn't able to find a good translation for that. If you know, please let us know in the comments. The arms of Lutz von Kemnath, ennobled in 1569. There was Thomas Lutz von Kemnath, 1527, and Marguerite Lutz von Kemnath, who died in 1568, had son Hans Lutz. Here we see her coat of arms. Another for Paul Lutz, burgher of Maren in Innsbruck, year 1621, son of Jacob Lutz. Caspar Sebastian Lutz von Welfenstein, 1778. He was an honorary prelate on whom the Pope conferred this title and its special privileges. The title of Protonotorius Apostolicus. One for Georg Andre von George Andre Lutz von Glotch, 1754. Michael Lutz, 1631. Lieutenant Alexander Lutz of Innsbruck, Austria, 1799. George Lutz von Solingen, granted a coat of arms in Vienna on June 12, 1578. George Lutz, counselor in Augsburg, 1548. Georg Lutz, a butcher, 1549. One for the Lutz family from Lutzenberg and Wallhausen and Solothurn and Zurich in Switzerland, and some members of the family listed below who lived, it looks like, in the 18th century. Lutz von Aargau in Switzerland. Lutz von St. Gallen, Switzerland, originally from Germany. Lutz von Schaffhausen, coat of arms dates to at least before 1773. One for Georg Lutz, burgher and Stadtgeiger. Now, a burgher is just an important citizen who held power or was wealthy, and a Stadtgeiger was translated as town fiddler of Munich in the year 1665. And one for Helena Lutz of Ingolstadt in the year 1599. And if you enjoyed this video, please visit us at coadb.com, link in the description. Thank you very much.